You are entering a location next to a designated zone across the street from an area called time, space, and alternate reality. You may find yourself asking questions like, where did he acquire such a cool power-up? How do I get to that secret bonus level? And when will they release a new nifty hat for me? There are many of these questions, and we will do our best to answer as many of them as we can, as Aperture Gaming is proud to present the DLC Zone. Greetings, fellow test subjects. Test subject 1337 here for Aperture Gaming. They make it, we test it, you play it. And welcome to the DLC Zone. This is a special DLC zone because we are going to be trying some new camera work today. And we are also covering the Assassin's Creed Syndicate Jack the Ripper DLC. Now before we get too far into this, I want to point out something. When I first heard of Syndicate coming out, I thought, okay, my experience from The Order 1886, Thief, and Dishonored, I thought by the third memory or mission or event in the game, we would be visiting a house of ill repute, so to say, but that didn't happen. But that all changed when this DLC came out. The third mission, it involved a brothel, house of ill repute, So they waited until this DLC to release that, so very clever guys. I think I figured out the code for doing a game if it's somewhere in the United Kingdom or in a United Kingdom themed area. So, now we're about to review. So sorry for that little bit, but on to the main review. Now be warned, this DLC takes place 20 years after the main events of the main game. So if you haven't beaten the game yet, be worried. Now I will try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, so just watch with caution, and if you want to, if you're curious, play the game. Alright, so the main game took place in 1868. So, by the laws of math, it is now the year 1888. Or it is known as the Autumn of Fear. Why? Because Jack the Ripper is on the loose terrorizing the working women of London. Which is, I guess, why they chose to wait until now to release the third mission House of Ill Repute level thing. Anyway, London is in a grip of terror, and you play the role of Miss Evie Fry. Now, I guess at the end of the events in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, she had left London and has come back to find there is terror going on in the streets, and it is up to you as Evie to figure out what is going on. There's a lot of pros and cons and changes for this DLC to the main game. For starters, one of the issues that I have to gripe about is how it took 90 minutes to load. It's a big DLC. So it has like environmental changes and some character changes. Yeah, it has a lot of changes to it, that's why it took so long. But one of the things that irked me was how, for a 90-minute download, we only get two sections of England. We only get the City of London and Whitechapel. Those are the only two areas we get to run around in. It is still a sizable area of London, but still, I thought we were going to be doing so much more in the main city. I guess the rest of the entire city. And here's what, it's interesting. Being gone for 20 years, so you have a new chance to find new illustrations, new treasure chests, new collectibles for Evie. Her equipment, it's pretty much the same. You get a gauntlet which you can upgrade or buy upgrades. You have a 6-shooter, you have blades and smoke bombs, poison darts, and the Voltic bombs. Yes. But your weaponry is currently limited to your hidden blade and brass knuckles. No Kokiri blades and no hidden cane blades. But here's what she came. Alright, here'll be a little spoiler. She obviously went to India because she comes back with some curry. I'm not sure the correct way to pronounce it, but there are these special solid brass bracelets which she is then able to use to add for extra punches. She also gets to use fear bombs and these special spikes. It's these two-pronged things that hold people to the ground. And why? Because for this DLC, fear and intimidation is a major factor, because it involves Jack the Ripper. There was rumors going around that you'd actually be able to play as Jack the Ripper, and this video, I'd like to confirm that yes, there's a small segment where you do actually control the Ripper. And I gotta admit, I am liking how the story is going. It is very well written, because since this is a historic thing, no one knows who the Jack the Ripper really was. So with so much ambiguity, they are able to use it to their own means. It's really good. I like how the story is written, how it ties into the main game, and the interaction with the main characters. Once again, for the City of London, if you do some side activities, you can earn upgrades and stuff to craft or rewards for your character. You're helping the police detective you helped from the main game, and there's a new character with new side activities. And it's interesting because you've been gone for so long, the city has now changed, and everything that you worked so hard for, you now have to do some stuff different. There's fight clubs, but you have to now participate in them to disband them permanently. There's bounty hunting, same course as per usual. And there's some new activities for the ladies of the night, where you have to stop the attacks on the brothels, among other activities. So yeah, it's really interesting how 20 years has changed the city so much. The mechanics are pretty much the same, but there's a new way for enemy takedowns. And like I said, environmentally wise, it's the same look. You get only 2 locations, it's just a different time of year and some time has passed. It's fairly interesting. So yeah, I like so like my only major gripe I said is the 90-minute download time, but the rest I really like. I think it's an interesting story, and I don't want to spoil it and tell you everything that happens to it. And honestly, I'm still playing through it myself, because well, like I said, if you haven't beaten the main game, it is a little bit spoilery to figure out, like, oh no, the butler did it! Oops, you weren't supposed to hear that till after the end of the game. But still, it's pretty good. Alright, well that's all the time we have for this game. And we here at the DLC Zone, we give it... We give Jack the Ripper, we give it a solid 9 out of 10. Until next time, thank you for watching. This has been Aperture Gaming. You have watched the DLC Zone. Game on.